In this video, we're going to fix the behavior so that after we attack our skeleton, if we decide that we want to carry on, we're going to check the distance between the skeleton and us, and if it's greater than, say, 2 units, we're going to tell the skeleton that he's no longer in combat mode and that he should continue on with his walk cycle. Currently, if I attack him, he's going to stay in idle forever. However, what we want to happen is if I come over here, in combat mode is now false, and he continues on walking. And then we will also have to actually give him the ability to walk again, code-wise. So let's look at how to do this. Let's open up our C# script for our skeleton. And currently here, when we damage him, we say is hit equals true, anim.setBool in combat mode. Now this is hit equals true. This is what's delaying us from actually being able to move, code-wise. We can only move if is hit is false. So what we want to do in this script is basically create the ability to check for the distance between our enemy and the player. So let's turn this into a challenge. The first thing we need to do in order to detect the distance between the enemy and our player is we need a variable to store the enemy, because we need to get basically the position of it. So variable to store the enemy position, or enemy in general, and then, I'm sorry, not the enemy, but the player. So variable to store the player, and then we need to create logic, and we need to basically say, hey, we need logic that says if the distance between the player and us, okay, and the enemy is us, which is transform.position, is say greater than is greater than 2 units, then let's go ahead and set is hit equals to false. So basically you would come down here and you're going to check for distance. So check for distance between player and enemy. So here, if it's greater than 2 units, then we're going to say is hit is now equal to false. And then we also want to say that is in combat is false. That way it goes back to actually playing the walk animation as well. So we're going to say in combat equals false. Okay. Is hit in combat, and if we check our skeleton code, let's just make sure that we have no variables that are specific to it. Okay, so that is the logic for adding the ability for our enemy to resume its status. So I'll see you guys in the challenge review.